everyone. Today I have days 22, or no, sorry, 21 and 22 for you. This is going over a couple different pages in the album because I had a decent amount of pictures from this particular time or these 2 days. So we will see a couple different pages for this video. For this one, it looked a little plain. It's just some coffee dyed paper, so I want to spruce it up a bit. And then I just took one of my Christmas scripty stamps, used my tea-dye distress ink, and just kind of loosely stamped all kind of over the page. I didn't want it to be perfect or anything. I just wanted a little bit of a background to break up kind of the simplicity of the page. So you can just see here that I'm just kind of slapping it down wherever that it seems like it needs a spot, and that's it for that. So now I'm going to put down these photos. Now I had 3 photos and I was trying to figure out a way to get them all on the page but still see everything and not have to reprint the photos into a smaller size. So what I end up deciding to do is take these photos and overlapping them one on top of the other to kind of make almost like a waterfall kind of look. And then I'm going to add these tabs to each of the photos, and then I'm going to add a hinge to the top of each of the photos so that you can flip them all up. Now I had thought about possibly backing these photos with something, and I don't do that in this particular video. I have not done that yet, but I may go back and add some backing to these. They're just kind of ugly on the back, and I thought maybe something on the back of these might look nice, but in this video, I'm just going to keep it simple. I didn't have a whole lot of time on this particular day that I was working on, so I just want to do something very easy. So this is some coffee dyed muslin fabric that I got from Walmart that I just dyed myself. And I am going to glue this on to the top of each of those photos. And like I said, I'm going to create a hinge for the photos. So that's what I'm kind of doing right now. And then I let it sit overnight to dry. And so while I'm doing that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me, and I appreciate all the comments that everybody's been leaving on these videos. It's so nice to talk with you guys. So if you ever have any questions or you just want to chit chat, you can leave comments below. And if you're liking this video and you want to see more junk journaling or any other kind of videos, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. That little bell in the bottom right hand corner on the computer will also notify you when I post a video. So if you're kind of waiting to see when I have a video up, that's a good way to do that because then you get an email notification. So now I am gluing these hinges down after I let them dry overnight. And this was a little bit precarious, so I'm not going to show it all because it was monotonous and I had glue everywhere, and because the album is getting so bulky, this side of the page was kind of flipping up and it was just getting a little annoying. So I do end up kind of skipping over some of this because it really is the same thing repeated over and over again. I just really kind of played with it a lot to get it so that it lined up and things like that. So now I'm just kind of moving everything around to make sure everything sticks right, and then I like how that flows. And so on the bottom here, I'm going to take a piece of this old vintage, what is it, recipe book? I think it is, oh, I think it's from one of those, oh, I can't remember, Joy of Cooking or something like that. It's real thin paper, and I coffee dyed it, and I'm just adding a little bit more grunge to it because this particular page, I didn't add coffee stain all over it, and I wanted to kind of tone down some of the white on that paper. So I just did that a little bit. Now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to layer it, and I end up just going with this piece of paper here. I'm going to glue it down with my glue stick because, like I said, it was pretty thin, and I thought it would adhere best with that and not wrinkle, and then I get all the edges and stuff put down. I'm trying out this book page, but just not liking it either. So I'm going to end up using an offcut that I had of one of the doilies from Little Bindi on Etsy. And it's the Christmas Pack 1 if you guys are interested, and I will try to remember to link that somewhere either in the cards above or in the video description. So you can get to her site. She has a lot of great stuff there. And so like I said, I'm just going to glue this down with my glue stick because it is rather thin paper, and this seems to be adhering really well, and then I don't have any edges and things curling up, so it's a good way of getting these thinner papers down. Same thing with the doily. It's just printed on copy paper, so I just used my glue stick for that as well. Now my video decided to cut out, or I forgot to turn the camera on really, and I wanted to show you kind of what I did, and I just added this tab here. I cut it into a flag shape, and then on that journaling card, I ended up using some washi tape to tape everything down, and then I was showing you there that I used my glue stick to make sure that washi tape stayed in place because I was using it as a hinge, and sometimes washi has a tendency to kind of lift up. So that's pretty much what I did on that page, and then I added journaling all down the right hand side of the 3 waterfall-like photos. And I just typed that on my vintage typewriter and trimmed out the strips on coffee paper, and then I just glued those down, which took like forever gluing all those strips down, but I end up liking how it looks in the end. So now I'm going to make another type of kind of hinge because I have some more photos, or a lot of photos, and I didn't want to have them going over multiple pages. So I just took some washi tape and put it on either end of these 2 photos. And what they're going to do is almost like a gatefolded card where they flip to the left and to the right, and then in the middle I'm going to have the number of the day it is. So I'm just adding the washi on both sides. This seemed to be pretty sticky washi, so I didn't feel like I needed to add any glue stick to this. And I'm also was thinking at the time that I was going to be putting another journaling spot here in between these 2, and I don't end up doing that, but I'm pretty confident that this washi is going to stay pretty nice for me, and so I just didn't end up adding any glue this time. Just using my ruler to get a straight edge for trimming that because you can't really get your scissors in, and I didn't want to use an X-Acto knife in fear of trying to cut through that page. So just use a ruler with a nice straight edge and it rips off really nice. So now I'm adding my journaling because I want to talk a lot about this day. We went out to see Christmas lights, and I'm going to add it on either side of these 2 photos. So I added that on, and then in the middle here, like I said, I'm going to add in the day. And there's that journaling card I wanted to add, but I didn't really compensate for that when I put the 2 photos down, so there really wasn't enough room and they wouldn't flip over nice, so I'm just going to add it to the left hand side. So it's just the rest of the journaling from this particular day. I wanted to ink around all my edges. I thought the music paper could use a little edge. It kind of brings your eye into the middle of the page. So I did that, and then that little mouse is so cute. I got it in a little pack of things from the antique mall when I got some of the vintage Christmas tags and the Christmas seals. That also came in it, and it looks very 70s to me, and I thought it was adorable, and I thought it went really well with the photos of the Christmas lights. So everything on the left hand side is glued down. Just looking through these word stickers from the Hip Kit that I received, and I'm just adding a couple here and there that kind of go with the photos, and then I'm putting one on the photo of my daughter, and then I will actually take that photo of my daughter and stitch around it with a zigzag stitch, and I believe I end up using gold thread. First, I wanted to add the word lights over here. I hadn't used very many of these little kind of thicker like stickers, so I wanted to make sure I started using some of them up because I'm getting to the end of the album at this point. And then I also found some little stars that I thought would look good on this. So there's where I added the stitching. I'm going to take this number and I'm just going to round the corners. I just thought it would look nice, just something different. And I am going to grab a sticker off of the sticker sheet. I was kind of trying to figure out what I might use, but the sticker sheet, I found this cute little car, and I know we didn't get a Christmas tree here, but I thought we were driving around looking at Christmas lights, and I thought the car represented that pretty well. Kind of ink around there to kind of tone down that white, and then I thought it needed some kind of backing. It looked a little floaty sitting there like that, so I had this cool shiny kind of wrapping paper that I got for a gift for Christmas, and I thought that'd be perfect. So I'm just going to rip around all of the edges to kind of give it a little bit more of a distressed look, add some ink to the edges, and then that makes everything kind of hold in that one spot. It doesn't look as floaty as it did prior to doing this, so I really like how that turned out. I'm going to just glue this down after I ink it, and then I'm going to use my 3-in-1 glue to glue the number and the car. And this is kind of coming to the end of this particular days. And like I had said in the previous video, I'm probably going to show you guys maybe 1 or 2 more videos of my December daily. I'm not going to end up going all the way to the 25th or maybe even the 24th just because the album's just getting too chunky and it's super hard to show you guys what it looks like. So I may just end up doing a flip through to show you the rest of it and the beginning part of the album. So let me know in the comments below if you want to see a flip through. I can do both silent to music flip through, and I can do a talkie flip through. Just let me know if there's a preference. You can leave that in the comments below, and I can do what seems to be the majority, or do both. That's fine too. So here is the last page. Thank you guys so much, and I will be back with day 23 and possibly some of day 24. Have a great day. Bye, guys.